Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. Smackdown tonight was from the FedExForum in Memphis, Tennessee. And Smackdown tonight, I thought it was a very mid-show in my opinion. We had The Rock concert tonight. The Rock ended up coming out, bringing back his, famous Rock concert. And the show outside of the Rock concert, nothing, important happened on the show tonight. I mean, we had two matches for the WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Championship qualifying match for the ladder match. WrestleMania 40 for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. We had Angel and Humberto versus Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. We also had Randy Orton taking on Grayson Waller. Santos Escobar took on Dragon Lee. We had the second match in the WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Championship qualifying match. New Catch Republic, was Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Pretty Deadly, Pretty Awful. And the main event, we had Bayley versus Dakota Kai. Overall, SmackDown was just a very mid-show tonight. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with The Rock. The Rock ended up coming out. I forgot to mention last week, they gave The Rock a new, opening entrance where he had the lightning bolts, on the other Titantron. And they end up doing that tonight. Really like the updated, entrance for The Rock. Him coming out with The Rock on the Titantron and the lightning, on the other Titantron coming down. So The Rock ended up getting a huge ovation from the crowd there in Memphis. And he came out to his Hollywood Rock theme, which was awesome. It's been a long time since we heard, the Hollywood Rock theme. So he got into the ring. Fans were chanting Rocky. The Rock got on the mic. He kept saying, usually every week, he scorches the city he is in. He kept saying, tonight here in Memphis, it is different. He kept saying years ago when he first started, he started here in Memphis. So The Rock ended up saying, finally, The Rock has come back. And then you heard the crowd say, to Memphis, but The Rock ended up pausing. And he kept saying, home. So The Rock ended up saying that they're going to have fun. And this is the home of the blues. And it's also the home of Elvis. He kept saying that he is going to sing a song. So we had, of course, the Rock concert. It's been a while since we've seen, The Rock end up doing his famous Rock concert. The one that sticks out, of course, as always, is the first Rock concert that he did back in 2003 when, he did it, to Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was leading up to their WrestleMania 19 match. So The Rock ended up, singing. He kept saying, The Rock is going to come lay the smackdown on your blonde Cody ass and your best friend's the clown. Of course, mentioning Seth Rollins. He kept saying, I'm going to whoop that ass and break that back. Or maybe I'll just beat you with my fanny pack. So it ended up showing, The Rock on the Titantron, a throwback photo of The Rock when he was in the Nation of Domination, where, at that time he was wearing a fanny pack, always. He kept saying that it's going to be so much drama. you'll truly have no choice but to cry to your mama. So The Rock was making this very personal, with Cody's mama. So he ended up saying, Rock is a mama's boy. He ended up saying, here's a story about how Cody was born. And, The Rock had two guys, standing. One of them was playing a, harmonica. So The Rock continued to sing. He was making fun of Cody Rhodes and how that Cody was a mistake. So The Rock then made fun of Seth Rollins. He kept saying how his wife, Becky Lynch, is more popular than him, and how Seth is an embarrassment. The Rock then made fun of the Cody Crybabies. He kept calling himself the final boss. And, what was funny was when The Rock, was making fun of Cody, saying how he was a mistake. It showed on the Titantron, when Cody was Stardust. Yeah, we all want to forget that. So then, when he was talking about Seth Rollins, it showed Rollins and Becky Lynch, on the Titantron. So The Rock ended up saying last week, Cody did something to him. He ended up saying the world heard it, and he felt it. So then we saw the clip of what happened last week at the end of Smackdown, where Cody Rhodes ended up slapping The Rock. So The Rock ended up saying that Cody grew a pair of balls and slapped him. The Rock ended up saying that a few days later, Cody went on Monday Night Raw, and he was asking how Cody was going to react to the biggest moment of his life, slapping him. So it showed, the clip from Monday Night Raw where Cody was just cutting, that promo, in the ring, and then he was crying. And then The Rock ended up saying Cody responded by crying. And so they bleeped it out on TV, and The Rock ended up saying, "You've got to be shitting me." So The Rock then makes fun of Cody. He ended up telling Cody that he won't get a towel to give to anyone. He ended up saying that The Rock wants to talk to Cody's mother. So The Rock ended up telling, Cody's mother that she knows that she is watching and listening, and that she doesn't know him, but she will. The Rock ended up telling her that her son Cody took something from him, and he will make Cody, his family, and her pay. He ended up saying on WrestleMania Night 1, they're going to beat Cody and Seth. And that brings them to Night 2, Bloodline Rules, and anything goes. So The Rock ended up saying that she wants Cody to finish the story, but that won't happen. He ended up saying that belt, the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship, will stay with his cousin, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. He ended up saying Cody's mom is going to get a belt, and it's The Rock's belt. So the fans were chanting, "Whoop that Trick." I guess Trick Williams, if he was watching SmackDown tonight, he would be impressed. So The Rock ended up taking a bag that was on a table in the ring, and in the bag was a weight belt. And it was, of course, The Rock's weight belt. You saw the Brahma Bull, on the other belt. So The Rock ended up saying that he is going to take the belt and beat Cody with it. He ended up saying that he is going to whoop Cody like a dog, and that his blood is going to be on that belt. And after that, The Rock is going to give that belt to Cody's mom. So The Rock ended up saying that he is going to whisper in Cody's mother's ear and tell her, "Michelle, what can I say except you're welcome?" So the fans end up chanting Rocky, and then The Rock end up saying, "If you smell what the final boss is cooking." And so that was how the segment ended. But very good, segment this was. Great promo from The Rock. It's always fun, when, you hear The Rock sing. The fans end up loving it. The Rock has the crowd in the palm of his hands, when, he does this stuff. But, the fans in Memphis were with The Rock tonight. And, he continues to, to hype up WrestleMania. But really enjoyed this segment, with The Rock. The Rock concert. WWE didn't even advertise that, The Rock was going to do, his Rock concert tonight. But I was predicting it. I was predicting that at some point, we were going to get the Rock concert where The Rock ends up, doing a Rock concert on Cody. And eventually, we got it. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had the first match of the night. This was a WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Championship qualifying match, to get into the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania 40 for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. And it was Angel and Humberto versus Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro of the LWO. And of course, Angel and Humberto, they were accompanied out there by Elektra Lopez. And then you had Zelina Vega out there. She accompanied Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Zelina Vega was wearing these headphones out there for some reason. I don't know. But this was a okay match here. Match ended up getting in the way. Angel started delivering some chops onto Cruz del Toro. Humberto then tagged in. Cruz del Toro ended up delivering a kick to Humberto, which was followed up by a Hurricanrana. So we had Joaquin Wilde end up tagging in. Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro end up double teaming on Humberto, to which Humberto ended up falling to the outside. Angel then got into the ring, and both Wilde and Del Toro end up drop kicking Angel to the outside. Both Wilde and Del Toro end up delivering suicide dives to the outside of the ring. Wilde ended up getting Humberto in the ring. Wilde ended up going for the cover, and Humberto ended up kicking out. Del Toro then ended up tagging in. Del Toro and also Wilde, they continued to double team on Humberto. Del Toro ended up going for the cover, and Humberto ended up kicking out. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Humberto and Cruz del Toro were in the ring. Humberto then delivered some right hands onto Del Toro. And then Angel ended up tagging in. Angel ended up drop kicking Wilde to the outside. And we had both Angel and Humberto end up double teaming on Cruz del Toro. We had both Angel and Humberto. They ended up delivering a double gorilla press off the second rope to Del Toro, which was great. So Humberto ended up going for the cover, and we had Joaquin Wilde end up breaking up the pin. Cruz del Toro ended up delivering a standing Spanish fly onto Humberto, which looked good. So both Angel and Joaquin Wilde were tagged in. Wilde then delivered a drop kick onto Humberto and Angel. Wilde then delivered a tornado DDT to Angel. So Wilde ended up going for the cover. Humberto broke up the pin. Cruz del Toro ended up drop kicking Humberto to the outside. Del Toro went to the outside, but Humberto threw him into the barricade. So we had Angel and Humberto end up getting to the ring. Humberto ended up throwing Wilde in the air, and Angel ended up delivering a kick to Wilde, and he ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Angel and Humberto ended up winning the match So they are moving on in this tournament. But overall, okay match it was between Legado del Fantasma and also Cruz del Toro, Joaquin, Wilde, the LWO. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton was on the entrance ramp. And she ended up introducing, L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight ended up coming out, got a huge pop from the crowd there in Memphis. Fans were chanting for Knight. So Knight ended up getting on the mic. He ended up calling AJ Styles out. But Styles didn't even come out. So Knight ended up calling Styles Napoleon Styles. He ended up saying that Styles flies to Australia, but he can't drive to Memphis. Knight ended up telling Styles that if he doesn't want to show up at SmackDown, he can show up at WrestleMania. So Knight then ended up challenging Styles to a match at WrestleMania. So out came Styles from behind, and he ended up hitting Knight with a chair. Styles then accepted Knight's challenge for WrestleMania. So it's going to be LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Looks like, hopefully, my prediction, it'll probably be on night 2 of WrestleMania. So that's my prediction. But overall, I thought it was a decent promo from LA Knight. Him wanting to get his hands on Styles. And it's finally going to happen at WrestleMania. And then we saw Nick Aldis. He was backstage. In came the United States champion, Logan Paul. Logan Paul ended up asking Aldis what the plan is for Randy Orton. Is Orton going to be fine? After Randy Orton last week ended up RKOing KSI, to which KSI ended up selling the hell out of that RKO. So Logan Paul ended up telling Nick Aldis that Orton should apologize. To which Aldis ended up telling Logan Paul that he should request an apology from Randy Orton in person. So Logan Paul ended up telling Nick Aldis that is his job. But he doesn't expect Aldis to do his job when he can't even do his job and find an opponent for WrestleMania. So pretty much, that was basically that. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso backstage. Kayla Braxton ended up stopping them, and she scared Paul Heyman, to which Paul Heyman was like, "Oh my God." It was hilarious. So Kayla Braxton ended up asking them if they have a response for Jay's WrestleMania challenge. So Jimmy then began to yell, and he ended up telling Jay that he is his little brother and that he raised him. So Jimmy ended up accepting his brother's challenge at WrestleMania. So there you go. It's going to be brother versus brother at WrestleMania. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Should be a very, very good match there. I'm looking forward to it. Being there live. And then we have Randy Orton versus Grayson Waller. This was a meh match here, in my opinion. The crowd was all for Orton here. So Logan Paul ended up coming out. And he was sitting on commentary. And Grayson Waller ended up attacking Orton from behind. The ref ended up ringing the bell. Waller then delivers some right hands to Orton, but Orton delivers some right hands back. Orton ended up getting Waller in the corner. He climbed the second rope. He ended up hitting Waller with some right hands. Waller ended up tripping Orton up on the top turnbuckle, and he threw Orton to the outside. Waller then grabbed Orton, but Orton ended up slamming Waller face first into the commentary table. Orton then ended up throwing Waller into the timekeeper's area. Logan Paul then stood up, and he distracted Orton. to which Waller then ended up, taking advantage of the distraction from Logan Paul, and he ended up slamming Orton face first onto the commentary table. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Orton was in control of the match. Orton ended up delivering a clothesline onto Waller. Waller then ended up going to the ropes, and Orton delivered a snap power slam. Waller then rolled onto the ring apron, and Orton ended up going for the DDT, but Waller threw him to the outside. Waller then slid to the outside. He ended up going for a clothesline to Orton. Orton ended up ducking the clothesline, and he slammed Waller onto the commentary table. So Theory ended up getting on the ring apron. He distracted Orton. Waller then ran towards Orton, but he ended up moving out of the way, and Waller ended up knocking Austin Theory down. Orton ended up getting Waller on the ring apron, and he hit Waller with the draping DDT. Orton then ended up going for the RKO, but Theory rolled Waller to the outside. Orton ended up grabbing Theory and pulling him onto the ring apron, and he ended up hitting Theory with the DDT. Waller then rolled into the ring. Orton then ended up hitting him with the RKO, which that was pretty good. That RKO to Waller there. So Orton then pointed at Logan Paul. He ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Randy Orton ended up winning the match, obviously. Post-match, Austin Theory ended up attacking Orton from behind, and he pointed to Logan Paul. And Paul ended up getting into the ring. Theory ended up holding Orton up, and Logan Paul ended up kissing Orton on his forehead, and out came Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ended up coming to the ring. He ended up hitting Theory with some right hands. Theory ended up falling to the outside. Logan Paul then left the ring. Owens ended up helping Orton up. Orton was about to go for the RKO to Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens ended up stopping Randy Orton. Orton didn't even know that it was Kevin Owens. So Austin Theory got into the ring. Orton ended up hitting Theory with a stunner, and then Orton delivered the RKO to Theory. I thought it was a pretty good combo there, with Owens hitting Theory with the stunner, and then right away Orton went for the RKO. Thought that was pretty good. So both Kevin Owens and Orton end up shaking hands. Out came Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ended up asking Logan Paul if he was able to get that apology from Orton. So Nick Aldis ended up saying that he has determined Logan Paul's opponent for WrestleMania. He ended up apologizing. He ended up saying that he has determined Logan Paul's opponents at WrestleMania. So Nick Aldis ended up announcing that Logan Paul will defend his United States Championship against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. So there you go. Triple threat match, United States Championship on the line, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. And then we had Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton was backstage with Damage Control. Dakota Kai ended up telling Kayla Braxton that she was going to break Bayley, and anyone who feels sorry for her have lost their mind. She ended up saying for the people that support Bayley and feel sorry for her to grow stronger, and that they had to cut Bayley loose. So Dakota Kai ended up saying that Damage Control run the show. So pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee as SmackDown came back from the commercial. This was a quick match here. Nothing, crazy happened in this match. We had Santos Escobar end up winning the match. Escobar ended up hitting Dragon Lee with the Phantom Driver. He ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Santos Escobar ended up winning the match. Post-match, we had Santos and Angel and Humberto. end up attacking Dragon Lee, and Carlito end up coming out. Carlito ended up hitting Angel with a backstabber, and then he ended up hitting the spine buster onto Humberto. Santos then delivers some right hands onto Carlito. He ended up throwing Carlito into the ring post, and Rey Mysterio ended up coming out. Rey got into the ring. He ended up hitting Escobar with some right hands. Rey ended up throwing Escobar onto the second rope, and he ended up going for the 619, but Santos rolled to the outside. Rey then grabbed the mic. He ended up asking Escobar, why is he running? So Rey ended up challenging Escobar to a match next week on SmackDown, and he ended up telling Escobar that he will slap that arrogant smile off of his face. So that was basically that. But that match is happening next week. Rey versus Santos Escobar. So overall, this was just a quick match with Escobar and Dragon Lee here. And then we had the second match in the WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Championship, tournament qualifying match. We had Pretty Deadly. This is Kit Wilson, Elton Prince, Pretty Awful, versus New Catch Republic, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne. And this was just a matchup here. So Pete Dunne and Kit Wilson were in the ring. Pete Dunne ended up twisting Kit Wilson's hand. So Pete Dunne ended up stomping on Kit Wilson's arm. Pete Dunne ended up getting on the ring apron. He ended up twisting Wilson's fingers. Elton Prince ended up tripping Pete Dunne up on the ring apron. Elton Prince ended up tagging in, and both Pretty Deadly, Pretty Awful ended up double teaming up on Pete Dunne. So we had Elton Prince end up delivering some right hands to Pete Dunne, and Kit Wilson ended up tagging in. So Kit Wilson ended up grabbing Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne delivered a single leg takedown on Kit Wilson. So Tyler Bate was then tagged in. Tyler Bate ended up knocking both Pretty Deadly down. Tyler Bate delivered a spinning head scissor takedown on Kit Wilson. He spun Elton Prince around and slammed him. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw Tyler Bate. He was in control of the match. He delivered a suplex on Kit Wilson. Pete Dunne and Elton Prince were tagged in. Pete Dunne delivered a kick to the side of Prince's head. He ended up sliding to the outside. He ended up slamming Kit Wilson onto the ring apron. Pete Dunne ended up getting back into the ring, and he ended up hitting Prince with a snap German suplex. So Pete Dunne was going for an armbar on Prince, but Prince ended up rolling him up, and Pete Dunne ended up kicking out. So we have Pete Dunne deliver a kick to the side of Prince's head. Tyler Bate ended up tagging in. So both Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne double teamed on Prince. Bate ended up going for the cover, and Kit Wilson ended up breaking up the pin. So at the end of the match, Pete Dunne ended up tagging in. Both Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate ended up hitting Prince with the Berman Hammer. Pete Dunne ended up going for the cover. And there you go. New Catch Republic ended up winning the match. So it's going to be New Catch Republic versus Angel and Humberto next. But overall, this was just a meh match here. Obviously, New Catch Republic was going to win. Main event. Bayley versus Dakota Kai. And Dakota Kai was accompanied by Asuka, Kairi Sane, and also Io Sky. And this was just meh here. Obviously, I knew how this match was going to go. But Bayley delivers some right hands to Dakota. Dakota ended up rolling to the outside. Bayley went to the outside. She ended up throwing Dakota back into the ring. Dakota then delivered a big slap to Bayley. The fans were chanting once again, "Whoop that trick," to which Trick Williams probably impressed with the fans there in Memphis. You know, Memphis loves Trick Williams. So Bayley ended up throwing Dakota in the corner. She ended up hitting her with some right hands and some kicks. Bayley ended up getting Dakota on the ring apron and slammed her. Bayley went to the outside and she delivered a suplex to Dakota on the floor. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Asuka distracted Bayley and Dakota ended up hitting Bayley with a double stomp. She ended up going for the cover and Bayley ended up kicking out. Dakota then distracted the ref and Asuka ended up hitting Bayley with a right hand. Dakota ended up going for the cover and Bayley ended up kicking out. So Dakota ended up grabbing Bayley and Bayley ended up slamming Dakota onto the mat. She climbed to the top rope, but Dakota came back and delivered a kick to Bayley. Dakota ended up climbing the second rope, but Bayley delivered a right hand and Dakota ended up falling down to the canvas. Bayley then delivered the elbow drop to Dakota. She ended up going for the cover and Dakota ended up kicking out. Bayley ended up going for the Bayley to belly, but Dakota ended up landing on her feet and she ended up kicking Bayley in the head. And at this point, once again, Dakota then distracted the ref. Kairi Sane got involved. She delivered some right hands onto Bayley. Dakota then delivered a kick onto Bayley. She then ran towards Bayley, but Bayley caught Dakota, ended up delivering the powerbomb. So Dakota ended up rolling to the outside. So Damage Control got into the ring. Bayley ended up knocking out both Asuka and Kairi Sane. Dakota ended up grabbing Bayley, and Io ended up hitting Bayley, and the ref called for the bell. So Bayley won the match by disqualification. So Naomi ended up coming out. Naomi ended up running to the ring. She ended up delivering a kick onto Dakota, and she ended up slamming Kairi Sane onto the canvas. Naomi ended up hitting Asuka with a kick, and Io came in and delivered a drop kick onto Naomi. She then threw Naomi to the outside. So Io went up to the top, and Io delivered the moonsault onto Bayley. Damage Control ended up celebrating in the ring, and that's how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, this was just a very meh match here. I knew how it was going to go down. I knew this was going to be a disqualification here. But overall, SmackDown was just a very mid-show tonight. Outside of the Rock concert, nothing much important happened on the show tonight. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until next video, I'll see you all later.